supporters and here. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us today to learn about what Custom Collaborative and participants have been doing and what's to come in 2022. I'm Ngozi Okaro. I'm Executive Director of Custom Collaborative, and I'm honored to open this event uh, on behalf of Custom Collaborative and introduce you to my colleagues. First, I do want to share a little bit about our work for the people who are newer to us. Custom Collaborative exists to provide earned income opportunities for immigrant and no and low income women. We do that through 3 programs: a 14-week training institute, which women graduate from with a business plan and the ability to make a made-to-measure garment. The second program is a business incubator where graduates of our training institute and others come and receive support on career planning, business planning, and connection to further opportunities. And the third part of our work is a worker cooperative development program, with a worker cooperative being like any other business, except that the people who work in it actually own it. And I see a couple of worker cooperative experts and some others in the audience today. And of course, all of that is done through the lens of sustainable fashion or ethical fashion. Basically, we bring environmentalism and human rights into our work. A couple of other people will go into the programs in more details as the session progresses, but I just wanted to give you that brief overview. So, a few things to talk about this year, 2021, or in some ways 2020, part 2. It had lots of unexpected opportunities for us, many surprises. For one thing, we were surprised to learn that as much as we would have liked to operate the 9th cohort of our training program, COVID had other plans for us. But we were fortunate to figure out other ways to teach skills and build confidence among our participants. One of the ways was through a partnership with the University of Fashion, which is an online university started by a former FIT department chair, who reached out to us and said, I can offer you guys these classes for your participants, which was really a godsend for us because it was too much to be able to try to figure out how to work in person, one, before there was broad-based vaccines, and 2, there's also been some vaccine hesitancy, right? So through University of Fashion, women learned more garment construction, like embellishing knit garments. There's some really great things, some pictures of which are on our page that's in the chat window, and then also business topics that Veronica will talk about. Partnerships really helped us move through. So in addition to the partnership with University of Fashion, we had, for example, partnership with the Garment District Alliance. Anthony might talk a little bit about that later, but through that, we were again able to, during the summer of this year, create more business opportunities. So the Garment District, like many other parts of New York City, really shut down and was slow to start back up. So through our work with the Garment District Alliance, one of the things that we did was introduce not just the custom collaborative community, but the community, the city, the fashion industry at large to some of the businesses in the Garment District that people didn't know about. So Anthony was a great host and photographer. He had teams of women joining him to visit different locations in the Garment District, talk to their owners, and in addition to that, providing opportunity for the businesses themselves to share what they do, which we did on Instagram Live or Zoom. Also, we were able to find out the hiring needs of some of the businesses. it was really important for us, even though people were not hiring at the moment, to find out who needed hires. And so through our work with Garment District Alliance, we were able to find out what are the companies that, you know, have had workers with them for 30 years who are thinking of retiring, or who are the places that need apprentices and interns. And it turned out that 3 out of 4 of the businesses that we talked to needed support or anticipated needing to hire people in the coming months. So that was really important for us to find out who are those people, who are the people who want to partner with us, among the ones who have already partnered with us. And you know, one thing that people have asked me about that I want to talk about is our July hiatus. So many of you who read our newsletter or see our social media know that we decided in July we weren't going to take any external calls, emails, speaking events, nothing. We were just going to work on some of our internal projects. I have to say that some of us on the team were a little bit nervous about what that would mean. Would we lose opportunities? But it just seemed to me that we needed to slow down, that the pandemic had us, you know, running and going for so many months that we had forgotten what it was like to work like normal people and to work not in a state of an emergency. So during the pandemic, we were doing all the things that we had never thought we would be able to do, like teach people to make masks remotely and have a whole fulfillment operation. So we decided to get back to some of the things that we would normally do. So during our July hiatus, we had a retreat, part one of a retreat, which was really great for us to be able to see each other in person. Some of us had never met each other in person before, but also to reset and to look at our strategic plan and figure out, these are the things that we said we wanted to do. This is where we said we wanted to be. Are we there? And what do we need to do to get there? Another thing that we did, in addition to having our retreat and checking on each other, was some planning around an apprenticeship program that I'll talk about in a minute. And then we also were able to work on our communications, our measurement, and we made some new hires. We hired 3 people in July, and I'm going to give myself a round of applause for that. But it was really, really, really an investment that I felt we needed to make in order to make the organization very strong. So then rather than, you know, one person doing 3 things, we were able to define what people should do, what people could do, and think about how to do that in a way that will take us to the next phase of growth. And you know, we also worked with other partners, including the New York Fashion Workforce Development Coalition, ICTESA, who is the steward of that organization, working with them on some advocacy around the AAPI hate and violence issues, as well as working with others like Remake and other groups around the Pay Up Fashion campaign, which was in 2020, a lot of businesses produced overseas, fashion companies, and then didn't pay the contracts to the factories. So the factories didn't pay for the workers. So even though most of that was happening overseas, Custom Collaborative values people, values proper wages. And so we felt it was important for us to sign on with that, as well as a bill in California that made it such that companies who were producing fashion in California, even if those companies subcontract out, they're still responsible for making sure that people are paid a minimum wage. And that passed a couple of months ago. So we were busy, just not as busy answering phone calls and emails. Before I turn it over to my colleagues, one, I want to say that there definitely will be time for questions, but just want to talk about 1 or 2 other things. One of the things that we did was, out of all the learnings we had, we recognized that some people did not have access to the proper technology in order to learn. Many of us take for granted that we'll have bandwidth and a laptop and everything else that we need. And it takes sometimes being in proximity to others to understand that that's not everybody's reality, that we don't all have childcare on the same basis. And so being in proximity with the women in our programs and talking to them about what their needs and what their challenges were, we were able to recognize that we needed to do whatever we could do to get technology out to folks. So we expanded the technology lending library that we started in late 2020. We ordered dozens of hotspots, which are part of the supply chain woes, and we're still waiting for them. But we've been trying to match people up with what they need in order to learn and thrive. Because many people in our community have gotten COVID. As I said earlier, there was some vaccine hesitancy. We're actually planning a vaccine information workshop with a public health expert. So all of our participants and their friends and families can come and learn about it. And we'll try to share that information as we get a date sealed in our newsletter as well. And then some really exciting news. So you're going to have to write down your questions about this. We'll talk about it a little bit more later. But we have just gotten the opportunity to expand our apprenticeship program. We started this apprenticeship program as a pilot in 2020 with Slow Factory, Swarovski, and Mara Hoffman. We placed 3 interns at Mara Hoffman after going through an exhaustive project of designing an apprenticeship. And so the apprentices worked at Mara Hoffman remotely, learning technical design. We thought that this apprenticeship would be a good idea. We were fortunate to be able to test it. And after the test turned out positive, then we started talking to the right people to invest in the apprenticeship, meaning who could fund it, both the apprentices as well as a success manager position that we thought would be integral to the apprenticeship. So in this summer, we started a series of conversations with Chanel, and we have just signed the papers. I think the ink might still be wet on a 3-year apprenticeship program that is initially funded by Chanel that will allow us to hire 2 interns who will be paid by Custom Collaborative through Chanel, as well as, sorry, I keep saying intern, apprentices, as well as employers. And so if you are an employer, if you know an employer who is interested in getting top-notch people on staff, then contact us. You can send a note in the chat window, or you can email info@Custom Collaborative. But again, we have just signed a 3-year commitment, $300,000 with Chanel to support this apprenticeship program and success manager. Extraordinarily excited about what this means, not just for the women in our programs, but also for Custom Collaborative. I'm sure you have questions. You can place them in the chat window. Thank you so much for the congratulations and the good feelings and support. And right now, I would like to turn the floor over to my colleague, Anthony Valante.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Ngozi. I'm so glad to be here today and to see some names I know and to meet some faces that are new as well. So today I'd like to talk with you about my role here at Custom Collaborative as production manager as it relates to CC's business incubator, and then speak to you about Fashion That Works production, an entirely women-owned sewn goods cooperative supported by Custom Collaborative. And I myself am very lucky because I get to work in both of these impactful program areas. So first, CC's business incubator, if you're not familiar, I will give you a crash course. It offers management consulting, mentorship, technical assistance, advanced training, and professional equipment and supplies to Training Institute graduates and others in the fashion industry. And the Business Incubator is a really great place because it fills a gap in our industry. It provides work opportunities for our CC Training Institute graduates. It advocates for fair wages, and it seeks to improve socioeconomic outcomes for all women. And it's been a really busy year for us despite the pandemic. We have requests from local designers and nonprofits alike who are looking to produce products, and I help pair projects with the skills of our participants. One great partner that we had this year was making hospital gowns for an organization called Fashion Girls for Humanity. It was a really great project and the need was there, so we really jumped in quick to fill that specific need and produce hospital gowns for this nonprofit. We also seek out opportunities to host learning classes with Garment District businesses, as Ngozi mentioned, with the Garment District Alliance. We've gone to New York Embroidery Studio to learn about embroidery. We've gone to M&S Schmalberg, which is the oldest and only fabric flower factory in New York City. We've gone to Creative Marker to learn about pattern grading. And really, it's just the beginning. We've got a lot more in store next year with lots of more learning classes coming for participants of CC's Training Institute. And we really couldn't do all of this important work without your support. So next, I'd like to talk about Fashion That Works production, which is owned and operated by 4 talented and driven individuals who are part of CC's Training Institute program. Fashion That Works production specializes in small batch production of soft woven apparel, home goods, and accessories. They're really the go-to resource for local designers and brands, small businesses and nonprofits to turn to for their production needs. And so I wanted to highlight 2 specific projects that they worked on this year that I was a part of. The first one is Iona College, which is based in New Rochelle, New York. Fashion That Works production was asked to produce lab coats for their graduation white coat ceremony. And through that project, Fashion That Works production sourced fabrics and trimmings, coordinated pattern grading and size range creation, and had lab coats cut locally in the garment district. They then sewed these coats with the utmost care and precision, and they even had each coat embroidered with the college logo and the names of each graduate. Iona College was very happy with their products and will return again next year. The second project with Indigena is a New York-based sustainable brand, and Fashion That Works production was asked to deconstruct some denim jackets and upcycle colorful knit blankets handmade in Guatemala. Fashion That Works production placed and carefully cut and sewed new sleeves from the knit blankets to make these denim jackets one of a kind. And the brand has already received rave reviews and is excited to partner with Fashion That Works production on new products soon. The last update for Fashion That Works production was that in late summer, they decided to slow down to focus on internal structure and systems and to better meet their internal co-op needs and also the needs of their growing clienteles. They had an in-person retreat recently focused on team building, planning for 2022 and more. And I'm happy to report that starting in January, they will emerge from their slowdown and begin taking production orders again, with many jobs lining up. And we really envision all production requests that come to CC to flow through Fashion That Works production, ensuring a steady stream of equitable income for the co-op and the CC participants that they engage with for these projects. So that is my update from the production side of things, and I'm so glad to be here and happy to answer questions at the end of the program. I'll hand it over to my colleague, Veronica, now. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. It is wonderful to be able to share with you the Custom Collaborative experience. I joined the staff of Custom Collaborative in the fall of 2016 as the entrepreneurship coach, teaching the participants how to sell the products that they have learned to make to earn a living, to introduce the participants to unforeseen possibilities, such as starting a micro business or a service business. Several women have started to sell online with startup websites whilst embracing the world of social media marketing. Custom Collaborative transition seamlessly at the onset of the pandemic and has continued to transform positively. The Business Incubator received a gift to advance their designing and sewing skills with the University of Fashion, as mentioned previously by Ngozi. The University of Fashion is the first and largest online fashion design video library in the world. Step-by-step video lessons teaching all aspects of fashion design offers videos in the business of fashion as well. The business of fashion requires both creative thinking and analytical skills. During the 3-month program, the focus of the business class was in the social media sales and marketing space. Fashion branding and marketing is key to developing an online presence in our ever-changing world of fashion retail as we know it. Christina Ivory hails from Brazil, where she studied business administration and marketing. Raising 2 daughters has been her greatest joy. She owned and styled a boutique in Brazil. In 2017, Christina moved to New York with her family. Unfortunately, she became a victim of domestic violence. And while working in the business, while being a victim in that time, she lived in a shelter. Her social worker suggested the Custom Collaborative program. Christina joined us and has been an asset. She has grown beautifully, and she entered our 14-week training program with zest and determination, and she has succeeded. And I would like Christina to tell you about her experience with Custom Collaborative and how it has impacted her life.
Thank you, Ms. V. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Christina. Sorry, I think it goes the name in the screen by mistake. Yes, I from Brazil. I come in 2017, like Miss Veronica say. My social work introduced me to this magnificent organization that changed my life. Today, I have my own place. I can, support my 2 daughters, pay my rent. I work in a CC studio for 2 hours in a week. I alumni coordination because I size June 2019, I graduation from cohort 6 training program. I be learning every single day, every week. I join in workshops, CC workshops. So I learn how to grow my own business. Also, I love to work at CC because the support making me feeling safe in a safe place. It's not only about my career, but personal, size you have trauma, you have emotion. So CC know how to do it almost who have trauma. So I feeling very safe to work at CC. I is happy to have you today. I co-work from Fashion Network Production Co-op that CC support use. I've been able to support my family too. So I feeling very grateful. I hope another woman have the same opportunity that I have. I so thankful for all. I feeling like CC is my family forever. I need that. Yes, I pass it to Marcela. Thank you.
I will introduce Marcela to our audience. Marcela is a dynamic personality. She discovered Custom Collaborative through a workforce development program. She has sensibility of design, sewing, and selling. She loves to sell and is very good at it. CC provided her the opportunity to professionalize her sewing, designing, and learning the basics of the apparel business. Building a brand, identifying the customer, social media, and marketing are key to success in the business of fashion. Marcela realizes that success is found through persistence and creativity. You have to visualize to materialize. And I'll let Marcela tell you how she's realized some of her dreams with Custom Collaborative.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Marcela Peralta. I'm a student from cohort 8. I joined Custom Collaborative in 2020, right before the pandemic. And we started in classes in person, but due to the pandemic, we pivoted to online learning, which was difficult to get through, but all of us ladies supported each other along with the staff at CC to get through it. And I'm grateful. There's been so many opportunities ever since doing Custom Collaborative. And yeah, it's been great.
You had some interesting experiences this year, Miss Marcela.
Yes. I showed my first resort wear collection at Miami Swim Week and also New York Fashion Week as well. Yeah.
And how was that experience for you?
It's a dream come true to be able to do what I love and express my fashions and art and share it with the world.
Thank you so much, Marcela and Christina.
Thank you.
Turn it back to Ngozi.
Thank you so much, Veronica, Anthony, Marcela, Christina, for sharing the stories. So I'm going to say that Marcela also this fall, I think, or early this summer, started a business incubator program with the New York Urban League. Is that correct, Marcela? Can you tell us? Yeah.
Yes, I forgot about that. I won the Back Office Initiative program, where I got to work one-on-one with a business consultant, furthering my business plan and lining up what we need to do to achieve the ultimate goal of mine, which is to hopefully be in retail stores one day.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We certainly look forward to seeing that. And I'm just thinking about our belief in women-owned business. And so I see a couple of people here. One, Jill Deaver. I'm actually wearing her scarf. It's a reversible scarf that she sent last year. And I feel like it's just so important to have people like her and Bukola Bankole, who I see on the line, who are women running businesses, inspiring the rest of us. So I thank you and others who are here for being here and being supportive of this work and giving us, the energy to keep on moving. To be perfectly honest, there have been some dark days in both 2020 and this 2021 when I thought like, okay, well, how in the heck are we going to make it through? And so there are moments when I've been worrying about like, oh, well, how do we survive? And then there's also been places where we have thrived. And I thank so many of you on this call for helping make that happen, whether it's teaching classes, making generous gifts, getting volunteers in order, listening to ideas, giving ideas, ignoring us as we complain. But I'm so grateful to so many people for being here and helping us through this really tough time, which again, I think we're going to be stronger than we were. We're already stronger than we were in 2019. And I think it just gets stronger and it gets better. Again, I'm really excited about the stake that we have in the ground on this apprenticeship. And we're talking to another really large, important corporation about helping us move even further and being able to hire more apprentices. So really grateful for that. And so everybody keep your fingers crossed. And then I also want to talk about a fellowship program that we are developing. Basically, we're talking to a few places about a fellowship in corporate sustainability. So there are many organizations, businesses that have corporate sustainability departments. Most of those departments are not populated with people of color. And for the most part, the people at the top are not women. So true to form of Custom Collaborative, we want to change that. So someone approached us in January of this year about what could we do. They saw that Custom Collaborative has been successful at finding diverse populations to participate in programs and to join the workforce. And so they said, well, you all have some ideas. Can we talk about a fellowship together? And can we share with you, what we've done before and why it hasn't worked? So I'm really excited to say that in conjunction with HIGG, H-I-G-G, they're really the kind of like standard bearers in terms of sustainability in fashion, funded also by Levi's, Council of the Federation of Council of Fashion Designers of America, Eileen Fisher, and some others. We have about half of the funding in place to start a program planning for this fellowship. We envision it roughly as a 2-year fellowship where people would learn about sustainability in year 1 and then year 2 be placed with an organization with hopefully the idea of getting hired. But that's something that we're working on, right? Because again, sustainability is our core, equity is at our core, opportunity is at the core. And so we're looking for ways to continue that work to make this a more equitable and environmentally sustainable planet. And of course, we do it with partners. As you know, we're a small organization, so all of our partnerships are really important. And we're fortunate to have found the right partners for this initiative. We'll talk about it more as the year goes on. Well, the year is almost over. I'm sorry. I'm still in July, but as the weeks go on, we'll talk a little bit more about it, share more information. But what we're doing is developing this program through, inside experts, and of course, we will get our participants information and suggestions as well. But we really want to make this program something that works well for everybody. And of course, we would be looking also for certification. So this would be a credentialed program. So it could be through a university. So we're in some early conversations. So just wanted to share that with you all, in addition to the apprenticeship program. I think that we should talk, and so I promised some people that we would be talking about the holiday marketplace. And I know there's folks that have items in the holiday marketplace, but before we get to that, I do want to make sure that we've answered questions. I know that I've shared a lot during the past 36 minutes, and Veronica has had some good things to add, and Anthony, and really grateful for Christina and Marcela telling us what it's like on the ground, but would love to take any questions right here. And so while we're fielding questions, I do want to let people know about our YouTube channel. So some of you follow us on Instagram, where we've got some great content. But if you look at our YouTube channel, that's where you'll see some of the most exciting things and some things where we really go in depth. For example, I was fortunate to do an interview with our chief custom collaborative ambassador and one of the foremost American designers, Stephen Burrows. We did that interview, I think, in late February, and it was really amazing to hear how he talked about his design sensibility, how you go from being a designer to being a business person, and how starting 40 years ago, he was already size inclusive and color inclusive. So please, I commend our YouTube channel to you so you all can see some of our videos. I think we also have some of our sustainability discussions on there as well. Yes, thank you, Nicole, for sharing that. Okay, so if there are no questions, I'm going to turn to Veronica to say a bit about our holiday marketplace, and then we'll go to Leslie.
Before we carry on, I do want to acknowledge we do have a question in the chat. Would you like to address it now or after Veronica speaks?
Yeah, surely we can answer the question. So the question is, congratulations to, what is the secret to Custom Collaborative success and supporting its alumni? I have some ideas. I think I'm going to ask a couple of other people. One thing that I would say is listening to what people ask for and asking them what they think, because sometimes people have ideas and they won't tell you what their ideas are. So it's really important to get ideas from the least talkative people as well as people who might be forthcoming. But let me ask Marcela, what would you say is a secret to supporting alumni and success?
I think the support that you guys have offered the alumni with constantly inviting us to different seminars, posting jobs, all the support that's offered and the persistence that you guys, keep in contact with us has been a big support. Even if, someone's kind of timid, it's very welcoming, and all the ladies with each other. So I think that's what's very helpful in keeping us together.
Thank you, Marcela. Does anybody else have insight on that question?
I do. I think the pandemic thrust us forward to be together, to grow our concepts and programs, and to think outside the box, certainly outside of the plan that we had for the organization. So we have really grown through that trauma.
Thank you, Veronica. And back to you, Veronica.
Before we go, one last time, Veronica, we do have a question from Meta. So if she would like to ask her question.
Hi, yes, it's Mita. Question, I heard Christina's story and how she was referred by a social worker, which led me to wonder, what are the outreach methods you engage in to inform the community about the availability of Custom Collaborative as a potential program for them?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We do a combination method of outreach. So when we're about to enroll classes, we advertise in community centers, in libraries, dollar stores, bodegas, houses of worships, gyms, and there are about 150 community-based organizations where we also send our flyers. So I think that Christina heard about us from WIN. We have other partners, Saki, New York Urban League, just like lots of places. And of course, we advertise in social media, and we also advertise through our newsletter. So we want to go wherever people are who might be the right people for our program. And the right people are women aged 21 and above. They don't need to have had any fashion or sewing experience. We teach people that from day one. And of course, in our training institute, we pay a stipend and we provide a Metro card. We hope that we will be able to start at the end of January or early February. Of course, that is dependent on Omicron and Delta and the other Greek letters of COVID. But we just want to make sure that all of the variants are passed and that we won't jeopardize participants, ourselves, and that we are complying with our hosts because we do not have classes in our own space. So thank you for asking that question.
That's all we have for questions, so I'll pass it on to Veronica.
Thank you, Nicole. Happy holidays. The holiday market has been launched on the Custom Collaborative website, and it's very exciting. All the products are made by participants and graduates of Custom Collaborative. We have wonderful social media happening, and we will run our holiday market right through until the end of January. So if you're inclined to shop and you want something that's handmade, that's unique, Custom Collaborative is the website to shop.
Thank you, Veronica. I also want to show, I'm going to have to unblur, don't judge my background. I'm also going to show one of our pieces. So this is a card holder, like wallet, made of an iridescent leather that Isabel created. She's a master leather person. So if you go on the website, you'll also see a belt that she's made. So we have a few people who are great at leather, Isabel, Christina, and some others. So just wanted to show you some of the gifts are available. So don't think that we have gendered gifts. We have gifts on our website for all genders. So then let me, at this point, should I turn to Leslie? Are there other questions?
I think that's it
Okay.
for questions. But if anyone has any, please feel free to send them along. We're not done yet. Hi, my name is Leslie Enston. I'm the development manager at Custom Collaborative. I am one of the new hires that Ngozi brought on during that time, which I'm amazed at what she and the team were able to do during COVID. It's just incredible, and how the organization has grown and how the programs have grown. Even as someone that's so new, it's very clear and evident and impressive. And everything that the organization is doing is so inspiring. Thank you, Marcela and Christina, for telling your stories. It's so wonderful to hear. And I think it's just a really obvious reason why you should support Custom Collaborative. I'd like to thank the people that have already donated. Our end of year campaign that kicked off today, Giving Tuesday, has already raised over $2,600. So yay, thank you so much, everybody. And as you may or may not know, today is Giving Tuesday, the global day of giving. I'm sure your inboxes are flooded with requests for donations, but I'm here to give you another one. If I hope that you are motivated and inspired by everything that you've heard here today to give to Custom Collaborative. The link is in the chat. And you know, your money is going towards the future, supporting the future of women, supporting the future of the environment, supporting the future of all of us. I think that what Custom Collaborative does touches all of us in different ways, and it's just such a worthy cause. So the link is in the chat. The campaign will be going through the end of the year. So if you aren't able to give today, you still have until December 31st. And no amount is too much, no amount is too little. We thank you so much for everyone that's already donated. Thank you to those that will donate, or spread the word. That's also really helpful. You can start a campaign. When you click on the link, you'll see a way to start a campaign if you'd like to start your own fundraiser. And thank you for everyone that has supported the organization in this crazy and tumultuous year. We're very grateful for you.
Thank you so much, Leslie. I'm looking at the screen and I see like, oh, I need to call this person and I need to share a report with this person. And I'm so grateful to you all for being patient with us during this time of, is upheaval too dramatic? Of upheaval, change, and everything else. Really the Custom Collaborative, the community of people who has been standing with us and those who are new to us but interested has been really integral in helping us keep going. Just thinking about the opportunities that we've had this year, one project that we worked on was making gowns for the community with Fashion Girls for Humanity. So that's another place where our participants got to grow their skills and earn money. And thanks to Fashion Girls for Humanity, we're able to also help hospitals who didn't have gowns. We were definitely a gown making and shipping operation for a couple of months this summer. So thank you, Anthony, for that. And just every project that we have had has been important. So again, thank you all. If I have something to give on this Giving Tuesday, it is thanks to you for your encouragement and your support and standing by us and recognizing really what we had to offer and the potential of all of the women in this community. So thank you again for your support. Oh, and for all the kind words. So great, great, great. Thank you again. I think that we'll close if there are no other questions, unless there's like a dance session, any music, no? Great. Okay, well, thank you all. Be on the lookout for some more emails from us as the year goes on. And feel free to email info@customcollaborative.org if you have questions or ideas or know of employers who we should be talking to. But again, thanks so much to everyone. Bye-bye, friends.